Everyday complex things explained simply to fall asleep to, through the looking glass. The human eye. Your eyes are small and fragile, yet they hold the vastness of the world. They are living windows, sculpted by millions of years of evolution, allowing you to glimpse colors, shapes, and motion. Every blink is like the closing of a camera shutter, a brief moment of darkness so short you never notice it. In those tiny pauses, the entire world disappears and reappears, and you never question how seamlessly your mind stitches it all together. Light begins its journey into your eye through the cornea, a clear, curved surface that bends and guides it inward. Passing through the lens, the light is carefully focused onto the retina at the back of the eye. The image it creates there is upside down and reversed, yet you never see it that way. Your brain quietly flips it without asking your permission, reconstructing reality on the fly. Inside the retina, millions of tiny sensors called rods and cones work like an army of silent watchers. Rods thrive in dim light, revealing shapes in the shadows, while cones flourish in daylight, painting the world in vivid hues. Each one sends electrical signals along the optic nerve to the brain at astonishing speeds, a constant river of silent messages, faster than any conversation you've ever had. And yet, what you see is not the world itself. It's your brain's interpretation, its best guess. It takes scattered patterns of light and translates them, filling in gaps with memory, expectation, and habit. You never notice the blind spots, the missing pieces. Your reality is a carefully constructed illusion, tuned for survival, not for perfect accuracy. If the human eye is the messenger, then what about the invisible stage upon which every living thing stands, the force that holds oceans, mountains, and even the moon in place? That's where gravity begins its quiet, endless work. The invisible hand. Gravity. Gravity feels ordinary because it's always there. You don't notice it when you cross a room, when your coffee sits still on a table, or when your body stays pressed gently against your bed at night. Yet it is one of the most mysterious forces we know, and perhaps the most misunderstood. Isaac Newton described it as a pole between masses, an invisible tether binding planets to stars and holding apples to the ground. Centuries later, Albert Einstein reshaped that idea completely. Gravity isn't a force in the usual sense, but the bending of space and time itself. A massive object, like Earth, distorts the invisible fabric of reality, and other objects simply follow those curves. The moon doesn't fall toward Earth because something is pulling it. It moves along a path carved into the geometry of the cosmos. Without gravity, the oceans would drift into space, the atmosphere would vanish, and your bones would weaken until they could no longer hold you upright. You wouldn't just float, you would slowly come apart, in ways both physical and biological. Plants would fail to grow properly, your sense of balance would collapse, and even the way your blood flows would change. And yet, gravity's true nature still escapes us. Physicists search for a theory that could unite it with the strange rules of the subatomic world. A quantum gravity that bridges Einstein's smooth curves with quantum mechanics' jittery unpredictability. For now, the bridge remains elusive, like a horizon that moves as you approach. Gravity shapes the stage, but the actors moving across that stage often travel with something even stranger: light, the oldest traveler we know. The ancient traveler. Light. Every beam of sunlight carries an ancient message. The light touching your skin right now began its journey deep within the sun, forged in the heart of nuclear fusion millions of years ago. It battled its way to the surface, a slow crawl that can take hundreds of thousands of years, before finally escaping into space. Only then did it spend a brief 8 minutes crossing the 150 million kilometers to Earth. Light is a paradox, both wave and particle. It travels at the cosmic speed limit, about 300,000 kilometers per second, faster than anything else we know. It can be bent by gravity, as though it were a thread woven into the fabric of space itself. It can be split into a rainbow by a prism, each color revealing a different wavelength. And in the crushing gravity of a black hole, light can be trapped forever, unable to escape. When you look up at the night sky, you are peering into history. A star 100 light years away shows you light that began its journey a century ago. Some of those stars no longer exist, yet their glow is still traveling through the dark, a ghostly afterimage drifting across space. In this way, light is a time machine, carrying the past into the present without ever stopping to rest. If light is the story of the universe, then music is the story of the human soul, a different kind of wave, one that moves not through empty space, but through air and through us. The mathematics of emotion. Music is invisible architecture built from sound. It arranges vibrations into patterns that bypass reason and speak directly to emotion. A single note can pierce the heart. A chord can flood you with memories you didn't know you still carried. Sound itself is simple, waves of pressure moving through air. But when those waves are shaped into rhythm and harmony, something emerges that feels greater than the sum of its parts. A slow, steady beat can calm the body, syncing with your heartbeat. A sudden dissonant chord can create unease, while a resolution into harmony can feel like a deep breath after tension. Across cultures and across centuries, music often shares certain patterns. Repetition, rise and fall, tension and release. These patterns mirror the rhythms of life, the pulse of breathing, the steady pace of walking, the turning of the seasons. The same vibrations that can shatter glass can also lull a child into peaceful sleep. Music is proof that chaos and order can dance together without destroying each other. And when the music fades, the mind often continues composing in silence, in the strange theater of dreams. The silent theater. Dreaming. Each night, you step into a private world that follows no rules. Dreams weave fragments of memory, feeling, and imagination into strange, shifting narratives. A hallway can stretch for miles. A friend can become a stranger in the blink of an eye. Most vivid dreams happen during REM sleep, when your brain's electrical activity mirrors that of wakefulness. In this state, the logical parts of the mind step aside, allowing the emotional and visual centers to take over. The result is a story told without the limits of reality. Some scientists believe dreams help process emotions, store memories, or even solve problems, a kind of rehearsal for challenges you might face in waking life. Others think they serve no real purpose at all. They're simply a side effect of the brain's nightly repairs. Either way, dreams remind us how fluid our sense of reality truly is. The same brain that builds your waking world can just as easily build a dream world, and the boundary between the two may be far thinner than we think. And when you awaken, you return to the shared reality we all inhabit, one sustained by the most overlooked miracle of all, the air we breathe, the ocean above us. Air. We live submerged in an invisible ocean of gas, a sea without visible waves. Air wraps our planet like a protective blanket, shielding us from the sun's most dangerous radiation and burning up countless meteors before they ever touch the ground. Air is about 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and a delicate balance of other gases. This balance is no accident. It's the result of billions of years of interaction between life and geology. Every breath you take contains atoms that have cycled through countless living things, leaves, animals, perhaps even dinosaurs. Inhaling is an act of connection, tying you to every creature that has ever lived and every forest that has ever swayed in the wind. The air is never still. It sculpts weather systems, carries seeds across continents, and delivers scents and sounds over great distances. And when you exhale, your breath begins its own journey, destined to become part of someone else's inhale far away. But above this ocean of air lies something stranger still, an ocean without air at all. The great dark. Space. Space is not truly empty. It is filled with unseen forces, particles, and radiation, much of it beyond our current ability to detect. Between stars lies dark matter, invisible yet massive enough to shape galaxies. Stranger still is dark energy, a mysterious force that appears to be pushing the universe apart, accelerating its expansion. The scale of space defies comprehension. Galaxies spin in slow motion. Stars collapse into black holes, bending time itself. Distances are so immense that our fastest spacecraft would take tens of thousands of years to reach even the nearest star. And yet, in the cosmic timeline, all of human history, every thought, every discovery, is less than the blink of an eye. If space is infinite, then somewhere there may be another Earth, another you, living a slightly different life. The possibilities stretch as far as the imagination can reach. And in that immensity, the worries and routines of daily life shrink to their true size, small, fragile, fleeting. From the human eye to the fabric of space itself, the universe is a mosaic of mysteries. Some are small enough to hold in your hand, others so vast they can only be imagined. And perhaps it is in this balance, between the known and the unknown, that we find the perfect puzzle to fall asleep to.